Destiny is dying. And sure, Destiny has been dying on and off for the past 12 years, but this time sure feels different, doesn't it? 2 years ago, we completed the main story, which took us a decade, and nothing after that has felt particularly meaningful. There's no clear direction, no motivation, and as we recently learned, there is nothing next. 2 years ago, we killed the Witness, and then we were forced to reckon with the meaninglessness of our own existence. God is dead, and we have killed him. How shall we comfort ourselves, the murderers of all murderers? Okay, look, that line is pretty melodramatic, but the thing is, Nietzsche in the 19th century was concerned with pretty much exactly the same problem that this video is concerned with. How do we find meaning in a world where there is no longer some higher power telling us what to do? So, if you're interested in continuing to play this game that we all love, even after it is abandoned by the nominal source of all meaning, well, that is what this video is going to be about. Let's start off looking at the timeline, because thanks to Destiny 1, and also just seeing this in other games, we do kind of know what's going to happen in Destiny 2's future. On June 9th, Bungie are going to release the final content drop for Destiny 2. This begins the first phase of a post-update Destiny, which we will call Business as Usual. This will be, functionally, like any other new content drop, with a temporarily increased player population as people return to play the new content, which also means that there will be well-functioning LFG systems and a good Crucible matchmaking experience. In fact, there might even be more people than usual coming to play this particular content drop, because we'll also see an influx of former players who want to come back to experience the final Destiny 2 update. Content creators will be content creating, tryhards will be working out the new metas, casuals will be playing casually, and it is, as the title suggests, business as usual. This phase will last about as long as any other content drop, and as people complete the new content, they will inevitably drift away, and the player population will begin dropping one final time. The second phase will be what we'll call the tryharding. Here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. New content drops constantly shifting the various metas is bad for hardcore players. But in a post-update Destiny 2, the tryhards will finally be able to solve the game. They will finally be able to figure out exactly the best way to kill each individual raid boss as quickly as possible, forever. They will finally be able to figure out the fastest transitions between encounters, forever. They will finally be able to take stock of the tools available to them and use those tools to figure out how to bend the game to their will as effectively as possible, forever. And even once the casuals start to drop off and the player population starts falling, the tryhards are going to be solving every encounter in the game. We will see some incredible speedrun strats developed in this time. We will see Crucible become an absolute cesspit in this time. And for a while, streamers will still be able to stream, viewers will still want to watch, and even though the bulk of casuals have gone, Destiny 2 will still be in a fairly recognizable state, not too dissimilar from any other drought between content drops. The third phase is what we'll call homeostasis. This is the point at which the player population stops falling dramatically and levels out to more or less where it will be for the remainder of the game's lifespan. This is the point at which the amount of new people trying the game out for the first time roughly equals the amount of people who stop playing the game. It's hard to say what Destiny 2 will look like at this point, because it really depends on how many people stick around for the long haul. If the game consistently has several thousand active players, then it will be about as playable as always. If it turns out that only a few hundred people want to play the game, then Crucible will be essentially unplayable and LFG will become much harder to use. At this point in time, we just don't know. So, instead of pontificating about what may or may not happen with Destiny 2, I'm going to tell you about what happened with Destiny 1, and you can draw your own conclusions from there. Destiny 1 Xbox LFG has consistently had about 10 to 50 posts, depending on the day of the week and the time of day, for the past 5 years. I estimate that at any given point there are maybe 200 or so dedicated players who are playing consistently, and around 5 to 10 times that many casuals who try the game out for a while, level up a character, complete the campaign, do a raid or two, and then don't come back. This is a sufficient player population for LFG to be semi-functional. You can't always find the exact raid that you want to do, but you can always find some raid to do, and if you start a post, then you'll usually find people for it within 15 minutes or so. Crucible is essentially unplayable, not just because the meta is solved and terrible, but because the only matches that you can even find are in the weekly rotator playlist, since this is where the casuals go to get their weekly rewards. And because nobody plays Crucible, the core player population of Destiny 1 consists of people who keep doing the same raids over and over. And that doesn't seem to make sense, does it? Like, how is it that these people, and they're not all tryhards, right? They're not all speedrunners. How is it that this many regular people can play the same 4 raids over and over for 12 years in a row without getting bored? I also want to note here that even after Bungie stopped updating Destiny 1, the game kept developing. This is because new game-changing glitches kept being discovered and new encounter-changing strategies kept being developed. Destiny 1 stopped being updated in 2017. Also in 2017, Canon Glitch was discovered, which completely changed how people played Wrath of the Machine. In 2018, IRB was discovered, which completely changed Kingsfall speedruns and out-of-bounds exploration. In 2022, PDR was discovered, which opened up new raid solo strategies. In 2025, Universal Canon Glitch was discovered, which meant that 11 years after its release, we finally figured out how to solo the entire Vault of Glass. Let that sink in. 11 years after a piece of content was released, something was discovered which allowed us to interact with that piece of content in an entirely new way. There's no reason to think that Destiny 2 is any different. Looking at the timeline, I expect that years from now, whatever dedicated fanbase this game has will continue to discover new things about it. We understand Destiny 1 in 2026 far better than we did in 2017, and I'm sure that we will understand Destiny 2 in 2035 far better than we do in 2026. Alright, here's a thought experiment. And you don't need to literally do this, you can keep listening to this video like a podcast if you want to. But here's what I want you to do. Make a list of everything in Destiny that you haven't done yet. And if you think that this is an empty list because you already know how to do everything, well, you're wrong. Do you know how to sparrowfly? Have you ever been to the galaxy pools? Do you know how to solo the Root of Nightmares raid? Have you ever taken a day to create a unique fashion design for every single one of your 12 loadout slots? And that's about to become 20 loadout slots, by the way. Do you know how to speedrun Spire of the Watcher? How about in a fire team of 2? How about solo on a Titan? Maybe you have done all of these things, but still there's no way that your list is empty. Because once you really get into the higher tiers of gameplay, you learn that you will never know how to do absolutely everything in the game. There is always some frontier yet uncharted, some new lands beyond yet unexplored. Anyway, the purpose of this exercise is not that I want you to literally go do all of those things. I don't even necessarily want you to do any of them. The purpose of this exercise is to show you that if you aren't enjoying Destiny, then lack of content is not the issue. And guess what? The truth is that lack of content was never the issue. Destiny has always been filled with a number of activities that you probably never bothered to do. So genuinely, ask yourself this: why have you never done all of those things? Pause for a moment and figure out your answer to that question. Then keep that answer in mind as we progress through the video. This is the grand lie of live service games. You need to rely on the developer to make new content in order for you to have fun. Some higher power tells you that in order to have fun in the game, you need to purchase $100 worth of content every year. And if you don't purchase and play exactly that content exactly when it's released, then you aren't effectively maximizing the fun that you're having. But that's just not the case, and that never was the case. Content droughts are an illusion perpetuated by the very system that simultaneously churns out the very content that's supposed to solve the problem that it creates. But there has never been a true lack of content because there have always been things in the game that you haven't done. So, if you weren't enjoying the game, then it's not because there was a lack of content. It must have been some other reason. I want to focus on this part of the player population graph now. These people, the ones who are consistently playing Destiny 2 during the final shape of the game's lifespan, are the people who use Destiny 2 as a third space. And this part of the video is partly a response to this My Name is Bife video, which is linked in the description. In this video, Bife compares Destiny 2 as a third space to more traditional third spaces, such as a bar or a coffee shop. These are places where people go to unwind and hang out and just be themselves. Your first space is home, your second space is work, and your third space is the place that you choose to go when you don't have to be either at home or at work. Destiny 2 is like that for a lot of people. But there's an issue with Bife's analogy because traditional third spaces don't receive content updates. In fact, usually the reverse is true, right? Like, the best pub is the one on the corner, which has been run by the same 60-year-old guy named Marv for the past 30 years, which only keeps 3 beers on tap, and even 3 beers is too many because everybody just orders Guinness anyway, and serves the same shitty meat pies, which are like a 4 out of 10, and yet you still swear by those meat pies as your favorite comfort food. The truth about a third space is the same truth as the truth about Destiny. The content isn't the point. You don't go to a third space because they're constantly refreshing the menu. You go to a third space because you know the menu. You go to a third space and order the same thing every time because you figured out what you like, and that's what you get. A third space is also, of course, about the people. A third space is your space, but it's also the space of the other people there too. You probably know the bartender's name and her kids' names, and you probably know the guy who comes in every Tuesday and gets the same cheeseburger with no onion, and you and your buddies probably go together every Wednesday for trivia night. Part of the appeal of a third space is that it becomes a backdrop for your interactions with the people who inhabit it. When your dog dies, you don't go to your third space to buy a cheeseburger, you go to your third space to chat with the bartender about how sad you are that your dog died. The cheeseburger is just the pretense. It's your way of signaling to society that you're doing something actually relevant, when in reality you're there because the people there are important to you. If you are someone who uses Destiny 2 as a third space, then this is the part to be sad about. A lot of the people who you used to play Destiny with are no longer going to want to play Destiny with you. These are the people who only logged on when there was a new update. These are the people who believe the grand lie that they can only have fun when Bungie says it's time to have fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. If they don't enjoy Destiny for the game that it is, then there's nothing you can do about that. And this does genuinely suck, because if Destiny is still your third space, and it is no longer their third space, then these people are no longer going to be a part of your life in the same way that they once were. Step 1. Figure out what you like about Destiny. If you've made it this far into this video, then this should be easy. You probably care a lot about this game, and there are probably things in the game that you enjoy doing. Figure out what those things are. For me, it's Vault of Glass, Kingsfall, and Prophecy. That's it. I know that's a short list, but those are the things in Destiny that I enjoy doing the most. Now, figure out what those things are for you. Step 2. Do those things. The truth is that in a post-live service Destiny, you're going to have to get very comfortable using LFG. You're going to have to get comfortable making posts, and you're going to have to get comfortable joining posts. But this is a surprisingly small barrier to entry, and it's one that a lot of people never got over. Most people who play Destiny are the type of people who only raid when their friends are online. And these people are probably sad because now they can't do their favorite raids anymore since their friends won't be playing anymore. But once you're comfortable joining an LFG post by yourself, you can just do your favorite raids. Whenever you want. Even in Destiny 1 in 2026, LFG is still surprisingly active, and I can usually find a VOG or a King's Fall whenever I'm in the mood to do one. Step 3. Make friends. Earlier, I pointed out that the sad part about a post-live service Destiny is the fact that a lot of your friends are probably going to move on. And this is still true, but you can also always make new friends. When you do a raid with someone and get along with them, go shoot them a friend request, add them on Discord, and then next time you want to do a raid, invite them. A lot of people won't respond, but some people will. These will be the same people who, like you, love Destiny and want to keep playing Destiny. Eventually, you'll build up a robust friend group of people who all want to keep playing Destiny into the long future together. Step 4. Third space. Come home after work, make yourself dinner, and then log on to Destiny 2. Find one of the numerous friends that you met in Step 3 and ask them if they want to do a raid. LFG for some randoms, then hang out, chat, shoot the shit with the randoms that you just met, learn their stories. Once you've cleared the raid 20, 50, 100 times, you won't even need to think about it anymore. You can do the mechanics blindfolded at that point. It is at this point that Destiny becomes a true third space, because now the raid is just a backdrop for the people who inhabit it. Now you can just hang out with your friends or with randoms and just chill. The point isn't the content, because the point has never been the content. The point is the people that you meet and the memories that you make within it. When the news first broke that Destiny 2 was no longer going to be updated, all of my Destiny 1 friends shared my same reaction. Excitement. Because Destiny 2 is a great game. It's fun to play, the graphics are better than Destiny 1, the gunplay is better than Destiny 1, the movement is better than Destiny 1. It's a better space to exist in. The issue for both myself and my D1 friends is that Bungie kept tinkering with it. It was so hard to treat Destiny 2 as a real third space because it was so hard to get comfortable enough with it that we could just hang out and chat. We constantly had to get on and regrind all of our gear, learn the new damage rotations, learn all the new raids and new dungeons. And now we don't have to do that anymore. The remainder of Destiny 2's lifespan is a game which, finally, we can come to grips with. We can learn what weapons we like to use and don't like to use, and we can learn what weapons we should put on when the raid group is struggling. Mastery takes time, and the constant shuffling of metas has meant that properly mastering anything in Destiny has been out of reach for the majority of the community. But now we can really sink our teeth into the content that we enjoy. We can make friends who also enjoy playing that content without fear of those friends leaving because there isn't enough to do. We can finally come home after a long day of work, log on and load up the raids that we've done 1,000 times before. We can chill out and commiserate and laugh and cry over the same shitty meat pie because the point has never been the content. The content is just a backdrop for the time that we spend with each other. And that is how to enjoy playing Destiny. Good luck.
For the first time in forever.
What for the first time forever?
Huh? Oh, I'm left.
Oh. Technically, it's the second time.
Hey, first time that I remember.
For the first time I remember.
It still works. It still works.
It does.